tell you, God is so funny, right? I read Exodus 19 for Bible, devotion a day, right? And God told Moses to set a boundary for the people, basically letting them know how far they can come up to the mount, at least if they wanted to live, right? And so when Moses goes back up to the Lord and God says, okay, now, basically tell the people, sanctify the people, tell the people, to come up the mount, whatever. God, Moses says, you said the people can't come up the mount. At least, if they want to live. And I'm summarizing, right? And God says, away. Go down there and tell the people what I said, that they can't come past this certain point, and bring Aaron up here with you, okay? And have the priests to sanctify themselves. Where am I going with this? What was funny to me is because Moses told God, he's literally, if you want to call it going back and forth with God, he's confronting God with what he said. And God said, what did I say? Okay? Don't tell me what I said. I know what I said. But what did I say? How many times have we been stuck in what God said while he's trying to tell us something new? Like, what is he saying right now? And I'm going to tell you about a time where it was hard for me to hear what God was saying to me now because of something he told me before. I was like, God, it just doesn't make sense. Why would you tell me this when it seems like it goes against what you said in the past? It just doesn't make sense. Now, this was when God was speaking to me about need versus want. And he was like, I need you to build a relationship with me because you need to realize and acknowledge that I'm all you need. And this is when he was breaking yokes of codependency and even removing my idols, right? He was decentering to recenter me, right? And so I'm like, okay, we're going through this isolation season, and I'm at the point where I'm like, I don't need nobody. I don't need nobody but God. As long as I got God, I'm good, right? And then God started talking to me about needing others. And he told me, he said, I want you to need people. And I'm like, wait a minute, that goes against what you said to me prior. It just doesn't make sense. Why would you tell me before I'm all you need to turn around and tell me I need people? It doesn't make sense to me, right? So he instructed me. He told me, he says, well, baby girl, I teach you precept upon precept, line upon line. So once I see that you understand this precept, this concept, I build on it, right? It doesn't end there, right? That isn't all there is to know, okay? And that's what I had to get through my mind. That's what I had to get through my brain, because I was stuck in that realm of, well, all I need is God. And I don't need nobody needing me, and I don't need nobody, right? If it ain't God. What he said, the new thing that he said, seemed to contradict what he said before. So him saying, I want you to need people. You do need people. Yes, you need me more, but you do need people. And I want you to need people. It's okay to be needed. And it's okay for you to need people. I was so hyper independent, it was crazy. So he was addressing the hyper independence after making me independent. He didn't want it to get to the point to where I self-isolated forever, because that's when you are where the enemy wants you. When he isolates you by yourself, he got you right where he wants you. So the Lord God had taught me independence, and he didn't want it to turn into hyper independence. And that's what I was heading into. That's the next level that I was heading into. So he stopped that. Well, I won't say he stopped that, but he was moving me into interdependence, so I didn't fall into hyper independence. There we go. So yeah, I find that funny, right? Moses is like, well, you said, and God is, get away from me. Get down there and do what I said. And when you come back up here, Bring your brother with you. Okay? Bring Aaron with you. And mind you, God wasn't saying to tell all the people that they could come up to the top of the mount. That wasn't what God was saying, but he was saying to bring the people. Aaron is a part of the people. He didn't say bring everybody. He was telling him to bring one. But just the idea that it sounded like God was going against what he said prior, it was a contradiction in Moses' mind. It's like, God, that don't sound right. You're contradicting yourself, which, if you ask me, that is one thing that God does, and we as a people do. We contradict ourselves all the time, and that is the flesh and the spirit warring against one another. But I also see it in another way. I see it as sovereignty, and I see it as growth. When you have the ability to contradict yourself, how you may in one season be here, and the next season you outgrow that old version of you, and you realize, like, damn, no, now I have a different perspective, and I see things from a higher view, a higher point of view, and I'm contradicting myself. I feel like that's when you know you're dealing with somebody who's open to growth, or somebody who is on their spiritual path, someone who is spiritually growing, when they start to contradict themselves. Right? So don't get stuck with who someone was in their prior season, because we are always growing. Well, at least some of us. And the way you'll know that someone is growing is because they begin to contradict themselves. And that's also an oxymoron too, right? Because it allows you to be all things. It doesn't put us in a box. I'm not limited to a box, and neither is my father. And that's what he was basically telling Moses. Like, don't tell me what I said. What did I say? Okay. Baby, God will get you together. He will get you together, honey. And I am here for it always. Okay.